What's good, everybody? It's your girl Emily, aka Perky Perp on Instagram. And this is my channel. It's called Stories from the Past. And it is a channel where I talk about relationships. People send in their stories, I comment on them, and I give my advice. I am a art therapist currently, and my medium is acrylic painting. So I've decided to create this podcast to be able to give my best advice, and by no means, use these advice that I'm giving you with discretion, please. Do not just apply everything. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But here we go. We're about to start our podcast, and this is a story. So she starts by saying, let me start off by saying, I, a 25-year-old female, have a very traditional values. Okay? My grandma basically raised me. How I show my love for an insignificant other is acts of service. I keep the house clean and I cook very nice dinners every night. My boyfriend, 32-year-old male, loves this about me. Recently, he moved into an apartment that has a problem with laundry. Thieves, a sentimental blanket of his, got stolen after I put it in a dryer. In the heat of the argument that ensued, he told me, all you do is lay around and bitch. So I decided to stay home for a few weeks while he and his very messy roommate can suffer in their mess. My fear is that, A, he doesn't see how much I do with laundry, dishes, and making his bed, cleaning the kitchen, grocery shopping, and cooking. Or B, he turns to someone else to fill the spot of homemaker. Any advice? Okay, so I see here that your way of giving love or your love language to someone else is act of service. That's how you feel valued. That's how you feel appreciated, because in turn, the person will then praise you and say, oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So she likes this. She likes this good praise. So that's her love language. And we all have different love languages. So that's okay. That's what you choose to do. I'm not saying it's wrong. However, when you are doing something and you are not being appreciated, yet you still continue to do it in hopes of some sort of praise and recognition, and it's not happening, then you're kind of wasting your time, right? So going on strike is an effective tactic. And if it results in B, whether he's hired help or can continue to pay someone to do his share, or you will have learned something about his character. And moving out will probably be a hassle, but it will probably be better than staying in a relationship with someone who values you so little. So it's important to give your partner space, right? You don't want to be their mom. Like, that's what you're doing. You're basically acting like their mother by cleaning up after them and, doing all these things. And it's like, you don't want to do that to the point where they're not doing it for themselves and they're just kind of expecting you to do it. Because, he's an adult. He can clean up after himself too. If you feel like doing it every once in a while, that's fine. If you feel like doing laundry and his, that's fine. But if it's coming from you, however, what is he doing for you too, right? It's an act of service, right? So what is he giving you in your love language? That's how I would say. If he doesn't see your value, what would you be missing? After all, he says you lay around and bitch. Like, that line, it made me feel like I would even reconsider the entire relationship. Like, somebody talking to me like that, no, that is not gonna fly. Like, why are you talking to me like that? I'm not a kid. I'm doing something for you. However, I don't feel appreciated. So now, with that phrase that he said, I'm trying very hard to connect how that is related to you helping him with laundry, cooking, and all these things. Because what he's saying seems to be the complete opposite. He's saying you're only laying around and bitching. Either you're helping him in areas where he actually doesn't need help, or he doesn't see the help that you actually do for him. In a way, he's treating you like a maid if you're saying that he likes when you clean up after him and things like that. So, all in all, I would say that if you want to create the space that you want to live in, I suggest communicate, continue to do your strike, and see how he feels. If he decides to take control of the situation, then you've realized that you have to find other ways to receive and give acts of service, because it doesn't necessarily have to be just cleaning up after him. Another way that you can do acts of service is if you know there's something else that he would want to be done that doesn't involve cleaning, or there's something that, you guys can talk about, or that you hear him talk about. Just think about those things, other ways that you can give acts of service, because although he is getting his needs met by hiring a maid, you have to also think about yourself and how you will receive that acts of service love language that you have. Because not everybody is the same, and we have to take into consideration all parties in this situation in order for a relationship to be truly, truly happy. But again, no relationship is perfect. Sometimes there's going to be ups, sometimes there's going to be down. And you just have to remember that it's okay to sleep it off sometimes. And it's okay to let your partner breathe and give them space and then regroup. Not everything has to be spoken about at the same moment, in the heat of the moment, because you might say things that you don't mean. And that's something that even I have been able to realize over the years, and being in my relationship. And it's helped me tremendously, honestly. And it's helped me keep healthy relationships, because you don't want to lash out and say things that you don't mean, especially when you're upset. So all in all, get to know yourself, know how you want to handle the situation, and just progress forward and think about yourself too, not just others around you. So thank you guys so much for listening to Stories from the Past. Don't forget to follow at Stories from the Past on Facebook. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at PerkyPerp. And I will speak to you guys on the next episode. Peace.